Welcome, Clive, and welcome, Eva, to
Thank
Dubai.
you.
Yeah, and it's great to have you guys here from Zimbabwe, coming on the invitation of Auditor's Desk to attend to this session. And pleased to have you, both of you, for this catch up between us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you for
So,
having us.
how was your journey from Zimbabwe via Harare and the flight onwards to Dubai?
Um, no, the flight was actually it was all right. A bit long, but I think we are used to it if you're flying to this part of the world. Yeah.
So I came to know that you all have been to Dubai earlier also. Yeah. So when was the last visit to Dubai?
My last visit was in 2020.
5 years back.
Yes.
And for you, Eva?
So I think my last visit was actually 2 years ago.
Okay.
One of our family members decided to celebrate their birthday.
Really? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Nice birthday.
So it was a good visit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you were here for work?
No, my last visit was on holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So do you see any changes in the city in the last 5 years?
A lot of changes.
A
Yeah.
lot? Yeah.
Yes.
So more construction?
A lot more construction. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, real estate is obviously a very prominent sector in UAE, and they had a real estate crash also during COVID times,
Of course.
and some around subprime prices also, but they bounced back from there. Um, Obviously, when we see such crashes and bounce backs, uh, one of the stories which come to our mind is also like in India or in Middle East, we heard about uh, the economy of Zimbabwe having a big setback, and it we feel that it's coming up gradually now. So how are the situations there now versus how they were earlier? Any sights on that?
The if you look at it from a textbook point of view, the economy is doing well in terms of the numbers. If you look at it purely from that standpoint, it is. But if you look at it from a human point of view, there's still a lot to be done. There are challenges that the ordinary person faces on a daily basis, but there are signs that there is some improvement. Our agricultural season last year was good. When the agricultural season is good, the economy generally does well. The mining sector has been doing well as well. So you look at our exports are up, etc. Balance of payments is coming down in our favor, but there is still a lot to be done for the ordinary man.
Uh-huh.
It's a difficult economy to read, in my view, because you'll find that, to make it very, to bring it into perspective, I love vehicles, I love cars. I don't think there's any latest model car that you will not find on our streets,
Yeah.
which then brings into question, how is this possible in an economy that has got so many struggles and challenges? So it's always very difficult to read because there's always the part of the economy that's booming, but there's always the part that is also, facing the day-to-day realities that are very difficult.
Yeah. So, in a difficult to predict economy, are the conditions for an auditing firm or a consulting firm quite challenging compared to an economy like, say, UAE, where the policies and the growth rate is more stable? You know that you will be growing at, say, 3.5 to 4% to 5.5%, and the policies are mostly directed. That okay, this is the Vision 2030. So next 5 years, this is where we have to go. Domestically in India, we see that there are policy shifts between the governments, but still they have a long-term vision of 2047 that they have to reach somewhere to be becoming a developed nation, and they are working around the way to it in different ways. So predictability adds, I think so, confidence to the consulting, that you know what to consult because you know what's going to happen. But in your kind of an economy, I feel that it's more engaging. How do you do that? How do you handle that kind of a open-ended question?
Right. Perhaps I can go first, and
Yeah.
and the answer to your question is yes or no.
Yeah.
The cake is small, as you can imagine, because the economy, I wouldn't say shrinking, it shrunk, and it's sort of, the growth has been very stagnated. So that obviously means that competition is very high. But having said that, because of some of our policy constructs, you then find that every day is a new day. And that provides a lot of opportunity for consultants, for advisors, because everybody is sort of having to reinvent themselves. So everybody has to readapt. You wake up with a new policy that you had not envisaged, and you need somebody to hold your hand through it. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword, but I
Yeah.
guess it also then provides, a bit of a silver lining, if I can call it that, for consultancy and advisory services.
It definitely does. What's your thought on it?
Um, in addition to what Eva said, I think there's been a shift in terms of economic activity in Zimbabwe. We don't have the large corporates in numbers like we used to do yesteryear. The shift now is to the small to medium enterprises. And largely from a consulting point of view, it's largely an untapped market. So that is an opportunity to look at the small to medium sized entities that you can work with and help them grow. So the opportunities are there, but obviously it's different from what you'd expect in a normal economy where things are more predictable. Yeah.
So I came to Harare briefly when we onboarded Vista. I think I stayed there for 5 to 7 days. Despite all the challenges that we see on ground in the economy, whomsoever I met over there, they were all very open, um, upcoming, and not hesitant to discuss, talk, very friendly also. Uh, our colleague Harold, he came over with his wife. He gave us a very good cake that she had baked at her home. So very affectionate people. So is this a cultural bend or how it? Because in challenging times, people get very frustrated, and I would say that back home in India, even when the things are improving, the level and degree of frustration in people is noticeable. They want more and more and more from every situation they are in. So it's quite paradoxical to see people in Zimbabwe being so happy and welcoming despite the challenges. How do you
Yeah.
guys manage that?
Mm. I think we're a bit of a docile people,
Yeah.
in all honesty. But I think the difficulties and the challenges we've encountered have also shaped who we have become. We've got a running joke back home that, to survive you have to make a plan. You have to make a plan, and that is sort of, how we roll. You make a plan, and there's no point. I mean, if somebody asks you, from outside of Zimbabwe, if they ask how are you, you always ask how much time do you have,
Oh.
because the answer can be very long. So I think again it comes from that mindset of just adapting all the time, to remain relevant, and I guess to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think in addition to what Eva said, yeah, making a plan is something that we are very good at. I'll give you an example. We have electricity challenges, and to safeguard yourself, you've got plan A, B, and C.
Wow.
So plan A is waiting for the regular electricity company to supply. When you from there you move on to solar,
Okay.
and then plan C is generator, so you are sorted.
Okay.
So that's the
You're having all your risks covered, right?
covered. Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So that's part of who we are. I guess part of it is because of the level of people are generally well educated,
Yeah.
and I think that's the problem, that people will make a plan. So
Mm.
when everything else fails, the last plan is I'll leave Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Yeah. So because of that, now probably half the population is outside Zimbabwe.
Oh,
Yeah.
indeed.
So because of that, we now make jokes out of things that should be serious.
Yeah.
So something bad happens,
Yeah.
we joke about it for the next 8 hours. The following day, we've forgotten about it, we move on.
But that's quite. I think from a zoomed out view, it looks like it might not be the case at different economies or different places. But trust me, in India, we are also in the same ship. Just that with larger numbers,
Of course.
but with the same kind of problem,
Right,
electricity being one
right,
of them
right.
at many places. So, moving on from there, we see some possibilities of cross border consulting coming up, like Indian consulting firms and companies joining hands with something in Middle East, in the Singapore and Africa. People definitely want to go and work over there. They have certain notions and conditioning, but once they start working in that area, I met a lot of people over here today in conference who have worked in the DR, Dominican Republic of Congo, or they have worked in Nigeria, or they have worked in South Africa. They all had good experiences. None of them were like, okay, I don't want to work there again.
Right.
And they had good commercial interests also. So, do you see that with Vista being a player in the consulting field in Zimbabwe, there are possibilities of cross border collaborations which can help you deliver clients in UAE in India and vice versa for Indian and UAE consultant to deliver clients in not only Zimbabwe but different parts of Africa also?
Um, Thanks for that question. I think there are opportunities. Prior to our exit from the PwC network, we had a good working relationship with PwC India around especially IT related projects, where they did a number of projects in Zimbabwe. But the beauty of it now is that because we are now independent, we are also independent in terms of have the independence to select who we can work with.
Yeah.
I see a lot of opportunity around IT, especially getting skills from India working in Zimbabwe and the other regional countries. I do see a lot of opportunities for that. Yeah.
Do you second that opinion?
I absolutely do. And I think that, there's an untapped market in Africa for everything.
For everything.
But it's about how you package it, and how you deliver it, because every customer is different. It's also a situation where it's no longer about presenting solutions, but about co-creating those solutions. With your clients. So absolutely, I definitely think that there's a lot of opportunity for collaboration across the spectrum of professional services.
And it can range from professional services and go on to technical products as well. So the scope is not specific but more pervasive in every way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And how do you find the resource mix? So, like when I was in US, we we were constantly being told that the people, the local guys in the US, the students, don't prefer to do CPAs much. So they prefer more aspiring career paths than becoming public accountants. So that's why US started importing public accountants from Middle East, and particularly from the Indian and the Pakistan region. That helped the economy over there to get a lot of influx of professionals. How is it in Zimbabwe? So we see more local guys, or there is people coming from South Africa or neighboring countries to help the resources each other, or it's mostly like the in-country domestic people are working in the ecosystem. How is the resource mix like?
I think as a country, we're actually exporting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we are exporting chartered accountants. If we look at our institute, half the members are outside. There's a number in the Middle East, the UK, America. Just this past week, our main annual conference was actually for the institute was took place in the UK.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's actually still taking place now. Yeah. So we are from a chartered accountant's point of view, we producing more than we need in Zimbabwe, and we're exporting.
Okay.
We've had a few expatriates. What we've noticed is that there are a number of Indian firms that have set up. Generally, when they set up, they do bring in accounting professionals from India.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then they execute the work, hire locals also, and then they make an ecosystem out of it.
Yes.
Okay.
You see, in a country like Zimbabwe, where you've got almost 90% unemployment, and yet the universities are churning out graduates annually or periodically, it means that you've got an influx of resources, and all of those need to find a home. So in a sense, business is spoiled for choice. That is for sure. And I guess it's a bit of a problem when you've got graduates who cannot find jobs that they were trained or skilled to do. So you'll find that resourcing, because we do have that pool of people, you'll find that generally business will tap into that pool. Of course, as Clive said, we do have a few expats here and there, but a lot of the time it's just to capacity build and make sure that the cultures, the values, the ecosystems of whatever companies are establishing are also passed on to the locals.
Okay. And how's the ecosystem with the neighbors? Like South Africa is becoming a major economy. It's part of the BRICS nations also. So does Zimbabwe see good relations with South Africa and a lot of cross-border trade, or it's other way around?
Yeah. So from a trade, Zimbabwe is South Africa's largest trading partner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. From a trade point of view, and there are a lot of Zimbabweans working in South Africa in accounting, construction. There's a lot of Zimbabweans. And what's also important is that from a chartered accountant's point of view, Zimbabwe, the qualification in Zimbabwe, South Africa, Namibia, and Lesotho is the same. Those 4 countries write the same exam, the same marking. So internationally, a chartered accountant in Zimbabwe, South Africa, Namibia, and Lesotho is taken at the same level because they write the same exam.
I think this is one of a kind example. Even like America and Canada are so connected, but I think they write different exams.
Exams.
Yeah, it's a unique proposition. That also opens up multiple markets for the professionals, and also for the products that works with professionals of one country can easily navigate into these 4 countries also.
Yeah.
Right.
So for example, if you see when you qualify as a chartered accountant Zimbabwe, you can then also have the chartered accountant South Africa designation at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think there are a lot of other pathways, right,
Yes.
to other qualifications. Say England and Wales. I mean,
Yeah.
there are several of those
Yeah.
That's a good
that
MOU
have been
to have.
established.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that the downside of it is we found that our people are very salable in the sense that you know, they get poached all the time. So we then
Yeah.
end up just being training ground for other
Yeah,
economies.
definitely can happen because wherever there will be a higher pull, so they would move on
Absolutely.
from one pound to the another and take that opportunity over.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, just to add on to what Eva said, there were firms from the UK that were sending people to interview, especially IT auditors, and they were targeting those with 1 year experience, because for them, that 1 year is enough for them to acquire enough experience to go work in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they are like at a launch pad.
Yes.
So they learn, they work, they earn something, and then they look for a migration
Yes.
beyond that place. So obviously that poses a lot of challenges for the partners and senior managers in managing that resource gap.
Yes.
Plus keep on training and you have to manage the client, the billing also.
Yeah.
So that's quite a work. So moving up ahead from there. So while you guys are here, I know that you are in UAE for a few more days to come. So you have more conferences to attend, or you have some free time to look around and move around.
Tomorrow is a working day for us.
Okay.
We will work from our hotel rooms. Tuesday is a day to look around, and then Wednesday morning we fly out.
You're flying out.
Yes.
So tomorrow is like some client job that you have to do.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deliverables.
Deadlines, which are very
Deadlines.
Yeah.
So okay. So I think this session was mostly to getting to know your part of
Absolutely.
challenges and sharing some part of ours, and also seeing on how we are navigating from one ship to another and creating a co-working space between these corridor economies of India, Middle East, and Africa. The opportunities obviously definitely comes with a lot of associated costs and challenges,
Absolutely, yeah.
but I think good consultants can always navigate through that and find a path on how to achieve the best of both three worlds that we have over here. So thanks for joining me and answering my some generic questions around it.
Sure. No, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for having
Thank you.
us.
Yeah.